Some of you may recognize this portrait of Napoleon. Napoleon invaded Russia in 1812. This chart, often judged the most impressive of all time, tells the story of this invasion from the French perspective. Shown is a map of Western Russia with the path of the French advance in brown and the retreat in black. The width of the path and the numbers indicate the size of the French army at various locations. The branch points indicate where some troops separated during the advance and later rejoined the retreat. Temperatures are in red and are linked to the path of retreat. The background music is from Tchaikovsky's 1812 overture, which also tells the story of this invasion, but from the Russian perspective. The Grande Armée of France crossed the Niemen River from Poland into Russia on June 23, 1812, with nearly 450,000 troops. The Russian army avoided major engagement with the French and retreated further and further into Russia, scorching the earth behind them. Thus, the French found it difficult to find food for themselves and their horses. The Russians finally engaged the French in battle outside Moscow on September 7, 1812, in the Battle of Borodino that resulted in approximately 44,000 Russian and 35,000 French casualties, perhaps the bloodiest day of battle to that time. After this battle, the Russian army withdrew further east of Moscow. Napoleon entered the city triumphant. He assumed that the fall of the Russian capital would end the war, but the Russians burned the city rather than capitulate. After a month in Moscow, Napoleon became concerned about loss of control back in France and decided to return with his army to his homeland. Here comes the interesting part, the part about climate. Russia has a cold climate. This should surprise no one. By the end of October, when the French troops were retreating back to their homeland, temperatures were dropping below freezing. By the beginning of December, when these troops again approached the border between Russia and Poland, temperatures were below -35 degrees Celsius or -31 degrees Fahrenheit. The 450,000 brave souls that began this campaign had dwindled to 10,000. Only 1 in 45 survived.